The Utah Mammoth is sorta proud to present NashCast.
What the is a NashCast?
NashCast, the only hockey show on the planet. Hosted by a human speed bag, fourth line wannabe, healthy scratch, schnozzy moto, Tyson Nash.
Who the hell is Tyson Nash?
Never heard of him.
And the baritone with a brain, the velvet hammer, Mr. Silky, Tono Suave, the radio voice of your Utah Mammoth,
Code Blue!
Mike Folta.
Oh, Captain, my Captain!
NashCast begins now.
Ready for takeoff.
Here's Tyler Ganoush and Mickey Foghorn. Wait, what? Oh, here's Tyson Nash and Mike Folta.
Feeling good, folks. Holy, we are now into August. August is upon us. September, we know what that means. That is training camp time. But lots to talk about still. Not a lot in the hockey world, but the fires around the world. I mean, it's absolutely gut-wrenching. I'm here in Coeur d'Alene, just outside of Spokane, and Spokane is on fire, buddy. It is so sad. It is so heartbreaking. I can't even imagine what people are going through with the loss, the fear of losing your home, the safety of your families. I mean, all of it. Breathing in this smoke. I mean, one sneeze, I figured someone made a joke, and I think I could probably get rid of all this smoke myself. but it's sad, man. Back in British Columbia, where I live, where I'm heading out tomorrow, a fire right across the lake. I'm going to post some pictures on NashCast later on. Our house is fine. Everyone's fine. But obviously, a lot of people are not.
Yeah. And you know, God bless our firefighters who are running towards this stuff, which is crazy. We've got some fires in Utah, too. I think there was some down near Provo this past week. But I mean, other than the smoke, it looks like a gorgeous day there, Tyson. I know you've been hacking it up, no doubt. I have as well. Just kind of enjoying the last little remnants of summer before the party's over, and it's back to the grind, which I'm kind of excited for at this point. Like, I just started doing my notes for the year.
Wow.
And it's a pretty mundane process. I'm just like updating everybody's, goals and assists and stuff like that in my sheets, and it's not the most glamorous, but I'm like, okay, I can smell it. We're almost here.
Well, if you can smell it, imagine me. So yeah, you're right. So again, you're out golfing. I obviously follow you on Instagram. You and Nikki Olchek were out there whacking it around. Tell me about this golf course, buddy. It looked spectacular.
Yeah, I put this on my story. What was it, Sunday or Monday? And we had some great fans that reached out to Nick. I think Nick might have met him on the concourse or something. So I was a +1. Nick Olchek has a connection, and
your favorite
this incredible
F-word,
family. That's right. That's right. They set it's hey, that's the play-by-play price code right there. But they set us up with this amazing track up in Promontory Park City. Incredible. Like the houses in this neighborhood, Tyson, like driving through the neighborhood, I'm like, I'm going to put a golf ball through $1 million window. Like, I'm not going to be able to afford the damages that I incur on this golf course. And we're driving up to the first hole, and we're like, wait, where's the green? It's a long par 5. We can tell that. But from the tips, the first hole was 700 yards.
The first hole?
No, the first hole. First hole. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna play from the members' tees here. But it was so much fun. Shout out to Randy and Nate and their son Hayden, who works with the Outliers up in Park City. Future broadcaster potentially.
Wow.
He's on the broadcast crew with the junior team in Park City. So it was so great to meet them. Just amazing Utah styled hospitality. And the wife, Randy, is from Montreal, so she's a big Habs fan.
Oh wow.
But they're Mammoth fans too now. They were season ticket holders last year. They're gonna be at a bunch of games this year. So it was great to connect with them. But Tyson, this track was just Oh my! It was a Jack Nicklaus course. It was gorgeous.
Oh.
I shot 1,000,000, but we had a ton of fun.
Well, you're plus 18 after the first hole.
Yeah. I was like, this is a par 9, right?
Yeah, add a 1 to the snowman, right? That's a tough way to start. But yeah, a gated community within the gated community, right?
Oh,
but that's
yeah.
the beauty, right, folks? I mean, that's why we see it every day. We wake up, we're in the mountains. You take a 25, 30-minute drive. You're up in Park City. It is a special, special place, and we have a hockey game, and the news is traveling around the league. It is now a destination for players to go, not only to be in a beautiful community with some of the best fans in the National Hockey League, but also a winning team, right? A team that is on the rise. And this interview that we have with Anders Lee, I mean, this guy is an absolute stud, and he chose Utah Mammoth, right? He wants to be a part of it. After spending, I think everyone in the hockey world thought he was going to be back in Long Island, where he spent 14 years of his career, 8 as a captain, right?
Yeah.
But he left. He left and he signs with Utah. And I'll tell you what, I am so happy to have him.
Yeah, and with the arrival of Anders Lee and Vincent Trocheck, it's kind of like a seminal moment for Utah and the NHL in Utah, because to me, Tyson, it's the first time that big name players chose Utah, like you said, over other places they could have gone. Because Anders Lee is like the chosen son of Edina, Minnesota, right? Like, he's a Minnesota through and through. He was like Gatorade Football Player of the Year in Minnesota. He's throwing for like 1,000,000 yards on the gridiron. Then he's ripping it up in high school hockey. Like, you don't think the Minnesota Wild and Billy Guerin would have loved to have had Anders Lee on their team? But no, he comes to Utah, where he has no connection like that. He doesn't have, it's not his childhood home like Minnesota is. He comes out to the mountains, and it was a great chat with him. And I could tell he's a guy we're going to really enjoy talking to throughout the year in the room.
Oh, he's just so charismatic, right? And on top of like a man rocket. Are you kidding me? This guy, folks, is 6'3", 235 pounds. That is a unit. That is a man's man, right? And the way he plays, and this is exactly what Utah needed. And full marks to Ryan and Ashley Smith, obviously opening up the bank, and Bill Armstrong finding a way to get it done, right? This is a 6th round pick. That's also what I love. This guy battled his way to the top, and he's a leader. You bring another leader, another big, massive body into that locker room, along with, guys like McBain and Krause, right? And you got Trocheck as well. And this is going to be a very dangerous team skill-wise. We know that, but they were always small. That was the one, I guess, knock against Utah, was they were easy to play against and they were small. But yes, they were skilled and fast. Now they're skilled and fast and big and getting bigger, right? So love the interview, just the conversations too between him and Trocheck as well, right? Long Island, the Rangers, that has been a rivalry from the beginning of time, right? And just some of the stories that were flying. But you talked to him a lot about his childhood and growing up and the football aspect of it. It was insane. That one year, I think he threw like 32 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards. Like, this guy is an absolute missile, and he probably could have played football too.
I'm gonna make sure this gets edited into the show, but if you just Google Anders Lee, like, the 4th picture that comes up is him at the Winter Classic at MetLife Stadium when the Rangers played the Islanders, and it's him in a football pose. The camera's kind of like angled up at him, so he looks like a Greek god, and his quads are just chiseled out of marble. He's cocking the football back like he's about to throw it. He's in a sweatshirt. He's wearing aviator sunglasses. It's just like if
Who's
there's
the
an
guy
Anders Lee statue, like, that's the picture. It's not even a hockey picture.
Who's the guy from the 49ers? That's who it reminds me of. That McCaffrey, the guy who runs out there, out there with a string tank top on. He looks a lot different than I do in that tank top, and these short shorts with like fire hydrants for legs, like redwood trees. That's what Lee is. I mean, this guy is a specimen, and I can't wait to see also like how infectious it's going to be. I mean, we talked to Barrett Hayden about it, right? And he is so juiced up to learn from a guy like Lee and how he plays and the little nuances and details of his game. So it's going to be infectious in that locker room. I can't wait. Again, they have done so much to improve this team that is on the rise to playoffs last year. And now what are they going to do?
Isn't it funny how the narrative around this Utah team is going to change this year? Because you were alluding to it. They were always small and they were always young, right? That's how we had billed them once they got to Utah. It's a young, skilled, small, fast team. And they still have the speed in a lot of ways, but they're not young anymore. And they're not small. Anders Lee didn't come here to play on the fourth line. He's going to be up with the big boys and potentially getting power play time as well. And can I make a prediction too?
Let's do it.
Because we have the Winter Classic coming up on New Year's Eve. It's being played at Rice-Eccles Stadium, where the University of Utah plays football. And there's going to be a lot of buildup to the Winter Classic. We're going to be talking about it a lot. I'm guessing there's going to come a game where Mammoth players are on the field at Rice-Eccles Stadium to kind of promote the Winter Classic. It's like, hey, you're playing football right now. We're waving to the crowd. In a little bit, we're going to be playing hockey on this field. I think Anders Lee's going to come out with a football in his hand in that moment. It's going to be like at a commercial break at a Utes game, and he's going to laser one down the field. They're going to have him, hit the goalpost with the football or throw a bomb to Logan Cooley down the field.
I was just going to say Cooley. That kid can probably just go. Little post route, boom, right into the middies.
And Cooley's a Pittsburgh guy, right? So he had the Steelers growing up, all that stuff. It's a big football town. So I'm guessing we're going to get Anders Lee playing quarterback on the field at some point before the Winter Classic.
Well, there you have it. I hope they're listening, buddy. I hope they're listening because it's exciting times. This team and where they're going to go, and they're not done yet. That's the beautiful thing. I know it's quiet right now as far as signings go and all that, but I have a feeling they are not done yet. So, again, can't wait. I hope Bill Armstrong is getting some rest. Coach Andre Turney, all the boys. The Adam Foote addition too. This is so massive for this team. I can't even tell you. You bring in a name. This guy was a coach in the National Hockey League. Now he's going to come in with all that knowledge and experience as an assistant coach, helping out the D, helping out the penalty kill, I would imagine. All the things that he did. This guy is a stud of a player, man. I see him. I get PTSD because he used to chase me around the ice. That guy was a scary man. You stood in front of the net, you paid a price. You knew you played against Adam Foote when you left that building, wherever it was in Colorado or wherever. The guy is an absolute machine. So, what an addition. And Anders Lee, I hope you guys really enjoy this interview because he's so well spoken. Love it. All right, folks, welcome to the show. How about this man? Handsome devil. Oh my goodness. 6'3", 234 pounds, drafted in the 6th round, 152nd overall. What's he do? 14 season with the Islanders, 8 as their captain. 300 plus goals in the National Hockey League. He's now part of the Utah Mammoth. You wanted them to get bigger. You wanted them to get faster and more skilled. Well, this man brings it all. Welcome, Anders Lee.
Thank you. Unreal intro. Wow.
Holy bolts. Look at this guy. Wait, where's the curl bar? Did you just put down the curl bar? Look at the size of you.
We snuck in a quick workout between all the press today, so it's been full. We're good. We got a good pump in.
Anders, great to have you in Utah. We're so excited to have you and Vincent Trocheck part of the organization now. But what were you thinking when you guys were flying over the mountains and you're realizing this is the new home here for the next little bit?
100%. No, it's definitely been a lot the last week and a half or so, and just being able to come into town and get a feel for things, to see the mountains, to fly in and get a feel for what Salt Lake has to offer, and that's before we even got to the practice facility today and got to meet everyone top to bottom in the organization. It's been a little bit of a whirlwind, but it's starting to feel more and more comfortable with the longer we do this. And I think it's just been great to come into town and see what Utah's all about. It's been great.
Vincent Trocheck kind of bounced around a little bit, spent the last 4 years with the Rangers. But you, different story, 14 years, your entire career with one organization in the Islanders. So this move, first of all, how did it happen? Because I literally fell off my stool. I'm like, everyone, I think, in the NHL expected you to re-sign with the Islanders. It didn't happen. You end up in Utah. So how did this all transpire?
Well, these things happen in terms of, where they stand and where I stood. And I think it was this opportunity with Utah came about, and talking with Bill and understanding the fit and the need that they saw in me and the value they put into that. And I think for me as a player, the opportunity to come to a team that's, right on the cusp and has been making strides each year, it was a really good fit, and that it felt right. It felt like a point in my career where this was something that was going to actually happen. I wouldn't have predicted that, a little bit ago, but sometimes, the other part of our game plays itself out too.
Fultz, I mean, if I'm selling tickets in Utah, I'm putting him on a billboard. Maybe after a workout too, eh? Get the pump. Holy, that's not normal.
Well, it's the summer tan, and we're all looking better this time of the year.
Yeah, I look like Magda. I'm like a beef jerky suit on right now.
Anders, I gotta ask. You got a lot of softballs up there at the opening press conference, so we're here to establish some of the harder hitting journalism now. You scored your first career NHL goal on your first shot in the first period of your first game. Can we expect the same in Salt Lake City?
If it happens, it's not going to be from that far away from the net. I'll tell you that. I think there was probably it took years to score one from further out than I did that night. It was the hockey.
Did it go in clean? I saw a highlight of it, and it what was it, from on the half wall?
It had no business going in. I put it off the elbow, but that first game, you have no idea what's going on. So I'm like, I get the puck over the blue line. I'm like, I'm shooting this thing, I'm gonna get a shot. It's just, it was crazy. It had absolutely no business going in, but it was a rip. But it shouldn't have gone in.
They don't ask how.
No, trust me, they certainly don't ask how. I live that way.
I can attest to that too.
Yeah.
3 years ago, could you have ever imagined that this was going to happen for you, that things would end in Long Island and you'd be part of the Utah Mammoth?
No, I wouldn't have. The island's been my home. I've raised my kids there. I've been a young adult into, now I'm 36. That's been my home. And the Islanders, that team, the groups that we've had, it's been my entire professional career and focus and all my efforts. And this too, as hockey players, we're dreamers and dream about winning a cup, and you dream about all these things. And that's what I was dreaming about doing there. And so no, I never would have thought it would turn out this way. And so I'm looking back on my time there with such gratitude, and so grateful to have been an Islander. It's a special place. It really is. And, but here we are, a new place. We're here in Utah, the Mammoth, this team and where they're at and this organization. It's, I couldn't be more excited about it. I really couldn't. It's going to be a great challenge and a new one for me and my family, but, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you're the type of guy that a team brings in when they're in win now mode. And that's certainly what the Mammoth are in. But over the last 2 years, what has been, or what was your perception of this Utah team while you were playing out east? And how has it changed?
Yeah. I said this downstairs, every time, the last few years, every time we kept playing these guys, they're getting better. It's a tougher game each and every night that we see them. And then when they moved here to Utah, the building's going now. Now they got there's a whole other energy behind them. And, it's tough to come into this building and play a hockey game. as a road team. And with these guys and the growth that they've taken and the steps that they've taken to put themselves in a win now position is phenomenal. And I can't wait to get with these guys and start the process with them together.
I'm going way back now, and I know you've answered this 1,000 times because it's everywhere. But your history, you were a football player, you were a hockey player, you're a dual threat. I mean, it's insane. I mean, no surprise. You're 6'3", 235 pounds. You can pretty much do it all. We hate guys like you, by the way, but you had to make a choice. Like, you were getting offers. You threw for 2,000 yards one year, 32 touchdowns or something crazy. You were getting college offers, Notre Dame, and I don't think you were going to be Rudy on Notre Dame, but talk about your football career. I mean, that's insane.
You know what? I was so fortunate to have to grow up in Minnesota, where you can play multiple sports. You know, we could play Friday night football and then have, you know, our recruiting elite league hockey on the weekends. And I mean, yeah, we'd play a Friday night football game, 2 games, hockey games on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. I mean, we were just in it, and you could do it at that age. But the seasons never fully overlapped, and to be able to play multiple sports was such a blessing. I mean, we just had a blast with it. Like, you know, playing baseball in the spring and taking a step away at that age to play another sport and pick up another skill. Like, I loved it. And football, I mean, as a quarterback, you're touching the ball every play. And I think I was in under center twice in 2 years. Like, we were shotgun and, just 3 wide receivers. It was a ball. It was a ball.
Now, you're a Golden Domer, which breaks my heart because I went to Purdue, so we'd get beat up by Notre Dame every year on the gridiron. But I don't know if you knew this. Notre Dame comes to Provo, Utah to play BYU on October 17th. Now, maybe the Mammoth they're playing, but how dialed in will you be to that game?
Oh, I'll be following for sure. It's awesome. It's so good. We typically in the fall, it's obviously tough to catch a lot of games because we also play on Saturdays. But anytime my wife and I can throw the game on, we're throwing it on. So I haven't seen the schedule yet, but we'll be there if we can.
Body painted up like Matt McConnell and his Sparty. But hey, yeah. we just had Vinny Trocheck on. So give us the Rangers Islander, that battle. I grew up in the Battle of Alberta. I mean, give us some Trocheck stories. He said he didn't touch you. He handed you off to the D. You were way too big for him. But he did chirp you about the Winter Classic.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. That was a tough ending to that game for us. But look, those Islander Ranger games, the best, you know. Going to MSG, being just you got some of our fans there, you know, hosting them in our building, like, some of the best games that you could look forward to. And it's, we had some fun ones against one another. And Troch is, you know, we all know him. He's such a solid player up and down the ice. Like, there's no shortcuts. He doesn't take any of those. He plays with the heart on his sleeve. And so, yeah, it'll be nice that we're just on the same side for once, you know? But yeah, I think we both look back fondly on those games. They're a blast.
We'll sort out or Bear at least, will sort out the lineups and all that once we get to training camp and those first few games. But let's just play imaginary hockey. You're on a line with Dylan Guenther and Logan Cooley. Like, how excited would that make you? What would you think that you would bring or complement to that line? What do you think of when you think of playing with guys like that?
Well, and you know, I've been fortunate enough to play. You know, these guys are special hockey players, and I've been fortunate enough to play with other special hockey players in my career, and I know my role in that type of a line. You know, there's a role for me on the forecheck of getting the puck back. There's a role for me in the corners to retrieve a rebound and get it back to them to let them do their thing and create havoc in front of the net. So, you know, when Cools makes a play to Gunner, he's got someone there to either clean it up or you know, get in the goalie's way a little bit and let them do their thing and I'll do mine. And there's not a lot of crossover there.
You've been a captain in the National Hockey League for 8 years from a storied franchise. So how does that work when you come to a new team? You know, I don't know what the letter situation is going to be, but Clayton Keller is the captain of this team. How do you just kind of slide in and kind of blend in or what do you do?
I'll just be myself. Look, these guys have built this on their own. This is their group. This is, Kels has been in this league a long time. He's been their captain. These guys have been in Arizona. They've been in buildings. They've been traveling. They all moved together here to Utah. They've been through a lot. This is their team and their group. And I'll be coming in and just being me. I don't need to do anything special or out of the ordinary. I'm just coming in and just looking forward to being a part of the group.
In the earlier press conference, I think you mentioned how you and your wife, Grace, have been such a big part of the community there on Long Island. And obviously, that's been a big part of your story throughout your NHL career. But like, has there been any thought to that, in Utah? I know like you just signed, right? But like, how do you view that community element now that you're kind of uprooting your life and switching teams?
Yeah. I mean, and I said it downstairs. I mean, just the ability and the opportunity that we had to create friendships and to help people, to help these kids that have had a pediatric cancer diagnosis and to help take their mind off it, help them at Christmas, whatever it is, has been very special and something that my wife and I have enjoyed very much. And I'm looking forward to it. I'd love to be able to do that here in Salt Lake, and host a cancer jam, when the time is right. I think it's so important for us athletes and, to be able to give back and use our platform and, whatever it is, it's our league is full of them. We got guys around this league that do things in all different areas. This is my area, that I love to do it in, and, looking forward to picking that up here.
I'm all in with that. Kelly Chase, my good friend, he's in the fight of his life right now, just down the road here. But talk about your journey. It's an interesting one because of how successful you've ended up being. 14 years, 8 as a captain, but you're a 6th round pick. I mean, how did that go? I mean, that's you should have been much higher. The size that you were, I mean, was that fuel?
You're worried he was going to play football.
Probably.
New York called my first year draft eligible. Halfway through the draft, we were watching it at my buddies in the basement, and they were like, "Are you playing football in the fall?" And this was my senior year. And we had just come off like a really good year, And I said, "Yeah, I'm playing football." And they're like, "All right, great." I didn't get drafted that year.
No way.
So I didn't get drafted that year. I don't know if the football was the reason or not, but just probably something else. But yeah. So then they drafted me the following year. So they kept their tabs. Which was huge. And I became an Islander, and what a fortunate bounce that was to be drafted by that organization and to have the time that I had there. It's a lot. It's a lot coming and leaving and the whole deal, but I just look back on it so fondly, and always will.
I got one more for you, Anders, and Utah plays in the Central Division, which when you look around, like every team basically is getting better. Even the teams at the bottom are starting to get better and take that next step. Utah took a step this last year, now playing in the Western Conference and in this division, especially where it's an arms race with teams like Colorado and Minnesota and the Winnipeg
and
Jets are the best goalie in
the
exactly. Like how is that? Does that feel like a change for you? Have you thought about that element, or is it just business as usual? We're playing a hockey game 1 out of 84 tonight.
I think it's a combo of both. I mean, it will be. I was in the Metro. We bus to 2 games. And our flights were 30 minutes. There's not better travel than the Metropolitan Division, but at the same time, playing in that division all this time, we had some tough years where top to bottom, it's a hell of a division, and it's the same thing going on over there that's here in the Central. And so, yeah, there'll be adjustment, getting used to a little bit more of the travel, how things work a little bit on that end. But, in some ways too, when you're playing division games like that all the time and there's other good teams, you're constantly tested, and you're constantly kind of taking steps to prepare and know how to win games and get used to one another and know how to beat them or know how you lost and all that stuff. So in some ways, a tough division can help prepare you for the long run when you make the playoffs and get into the gritty end of things.
So many people, last question for me, help you in your journey, right? And you're from Minnesota, nice, all the things. But to spend your entire career in one place, there had to have been a mentor so many good ones floating around. I'm sure that locker room, the alumni, right? Was there someone that really helped you as a player and to turn into the leader that you are?
Yeah, I think coming in, I had guys like Marty Reisner and Eric Bolton. Like,
here's my roommate, Marty Reisner. Oh my God.
Like I'm coming out of college and I needed a haircut and the whole deal. And these guys, like, I was with them for a month and a half, Bolt's a little bit longer, but like those guys kicked it off in terms of veteran guys looking out for me. And as time went on, you got guys like Johnny Boychuk and just even the coaches, Barry coming in, and obviously Lou has been a tremendous mentor to me and has helped me, in so many ways, and such a guiding light and a special person. But the organization's filled with them. It really is, and that's a testament to where they are and helping me become who I am today. So I could name 20 guys. I really could, and it's just it's been a special place.
Well, thank you, my man. We really appreciate your time. I don't know if you're feeling the buzz yet in that community to have a player like you. This is a team that did some damage in the playoffs, got to the playoffs, first of all, for the first time in a long time. You, my friend, and Vinny Trocheck were two huge pieces that was missing. They've been added now. So thank you for being on the show, the NashCast, baby. We'll be around.
I love it. Thanks for having me, boys.
Well, there you have it. What a stud. What a machine. What a missile. Whatever you want to call him. He is now part of the Utah Mammoth, left the Islanders. Believe it or not, after 14 years, 8 as a captain, left the Islanders. He's a Utah Mammoth. He is loving everything about Utah. He's there looking for a house. He's pumped up. He's getting the tour. He's checking out the restaurants. But he is excited. You can hear it in his voice, and I cannot wait to see what he's all about come training camp time, Folds.
Yeah, going to be a force on the ice, and just another layer to this team, Tyson, him and Vincent Trocheck, the two big additions that ratchet up the competitiveness at training camp come September. Like, how much of a difference does that make when you, as a player, are going into a training camp knowing that, like, hey, even though I've played a few years, like, I still have to compete for ice time, for a job, for all this.
Yeah, they only remember your last game pretty much, right? I mean, your last season, whatever it is, and it's just for about this long, right? So it's about recreating and proving yourself game after game, day after day in practice, now more so than ever. The way and, the weight that your practice, is handled. I remember we used to go on the ice and practice and be like, whatever, go through the motions. But now it matters. When you have internal competition, every practice matters, every game matters, and you can be replaced like that. But when you bring a player and players like they have done this year into the fold, onto the team, the excitement is just next level, right? Even for guys like Clayton Keller, the captain of this team, he now knows he's got support. He now knows that they are going to be a better team, and that's what it's all about. They now know they have a legitimate chance to win a Stanley Cup, and that has not been the case here for so long until really last year. They made steps in year one in Utah, but they made massive leaps and bounds last year, getting into the dance. But it's not just about getting in. It's about moving along round after round and just dominating games, and you're going to see that this year. They are now big, they're now strong, they're now mean to play against, and they are so fast and so skilled. And I'll tell you what, the other thing is Bill Armstrong, what he's done with the payroll, with the budget, right? Getting these players all signed when at the time I was like, oh my God, like that's kind of a lot of money. This kid's played 1-2 good years and they're making 7 times 7, right? That's like the magic number. But you're looking at all these guys. You look at Carlson, you look at Celebrini. I mean, these guys are making $18 million a year. I mean, that kills your payroll. So well done, Bill.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting camp, but this is coming out on the 5th of August. Like, by this point, what kind of shape were you in, Tyson, when you were heading, knowing camp was a month plus away?
So I always tried to be the most fit at camp. I tried to be like the Rob Brindamore, right? Because I didn't have a lot of skill. I didn't have a lot of talent, so I had to make up for it and set a tone in the gym and off ice. So I was pretty chiseled at this time. I think some of the issues I had, which I don't think the players have nowadays, because they have nutritionists, they got strength coaches, they have all the things, right? I never had any of that besides a trainer that kind of helped out and pushed us a little bit on on the field doing dry land or sprints or whatever, right? But my biggest issue was burning out before training camp. I worked too hard almost in the off season. I didn't take a lot of rest days, which you have to monitor. And I think they have it down to a science clearly nowadays. Guys like Clayton Keller, every player you talk to, that's the first guy they mention is Clayton Keller. How he trains, how he prepares, how he rests, and rest now it's a weapon, right? So yeah, it's a fun time of year. They're just over a month away or so from training camp, and they're amping up. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm starting to get in shape too. Hitting the treadmill, speed 5, maybe like a 1 degree incline. Gonna be in shape come September, baby. Just get ready.
Yeah, I'm like a bag of milk myself. It's that's the other thing I saw. So I saw Braden Shen. So Braden Shen's playing golf with us today, and he is an absolute beast. So he had a day yesterday, had a lot of fun. But today it was in the gym at 8 a.m. and he was grinding. This is a guy that's been in the league forever, right? Longtime captain of the St. Louis Blues. Now he's with the Islanders. And now at his age, you have to make sure you're at the top of the food chain as well, right? Because they're just looking for some sort of excuse as you tend to get older and longer in the tooth. But this guy, he won't be drinking today. He won't be having all the fun. He'll be golfing, but it's down to business. He's got his workout in. He's played with his kids, but he's ready to golf now. But it's serious time. No matter, this is a vacation spot. And even a guy like Braden Shen coming in, it's still all about pumping the iron.
One thing that I just started doing, which I didn't even know was possible, was working out twice a day. Were you doing 2-a-days?
Sometimes the second workout would be like a hot yoga or a Pilates or some kind of, like nothing crazy. I wish I would have stretched a lot more back in my day. I'm as flexible as a board. But I see a lot of players nowadays. It's less about lifting heavy. They're certainly not doing bicep curls and tricep push downs and all that stuff. It's all about core. But it's a lot about flexibility and, lengthening the muscles, lengthening your stride out, all those things. And it certainly pays dividends as the grinding hockey year goes along.
Hey, one more thing I wanted to get to before we send people on their way. Speaking of guys who are maybe a little leaner, maybe they've been doing more core and less curls in the room, just based on their body type. But did you see the Hughes brothers in New York the other week?
Oh, just got pigeon tossed.
They were given the Tyson Nash treatment at this club in New York. Like those guys are Olympic heroes, gold medalists, and they're like waiting outside a club in New York. Like if you're at that level, Tyson, are you like, all right, I'm out of here, or are you taking your medicine and just sitting and waiting outside this place?
Yeah, you wonder how that played out because I think the mistake is not the pre-call, right? And maybe a little pre-payment to the bouncers. Like the bouncers couldn't have handled that any worse, right? They clearly had some idea who these two guys are. They're American legends, right? Like figure it out. Don't be that guy. Don't be a hero. But what I respected and I didn't see was them causing a commotion, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously they're not big guys by any means, but they weren't like, hey, they weren't dropping names and money and all that stuff, right? Like you didn't see any of that, which could have very easily happened. I remember when I used to get kicked out of bars, I'd be like, I could buy this place and we try to fight the bouncers. I'm like, I look back now, I'm like, you were a complete idiot. Like that's what you were. You sounded like an idiot even back then. So they didn't do it. I loved it, but I actually felt bad for them. I was like, these poor guys, man. That's unreal.
So you never had trouble getting into bars. It was the staying in bars that was the
Staying
hard
in.
part.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. This mouth Fultz, it tends to get me in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
Yeah, well, we love you for it. Good episode, buddy, and great interview with Anders Lee. We're gonna be talking to more guys throughout the next few weeks here, and we'll be back next week. So
Anders Lee. There you go. You got to see your play-by-play. I'm color. I can butcher any name. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, big man. Don't come after me. He didn't mind though. He was like, kind of like either or, whatever you call me is fine.
It's funny that I had like a Swedish coach, Anders. Like you would have thought it would be Anders, but he was Anders too, and everybody called him Anders. But I don't know. But we'll check the game notes next time and the pronunciation guide. Anything else though, Nasher, before we let people go for the rest of their week?
No, just to enjoy it. Again, you knocked it out of the park. Firefighters, we're running out of those fires. They're running into it, right? So thank you for all your courage. And hopefully we get those fires under control because it's a sad thing what's happening around the world. So God bless. Stay safe out there, everyone.